Bridgerton's all about love. Let us tell you, its couples don't shy away from giving it to one another at every chance they get. Honestly, first the Duke and Daphne, then Andrew and Kate. Can we please catch a break from all the heat? And so today, we've decided to list 10 of our favorite, most talked about, charged up scenes from the show nobody is about to forget anytime soon. Starting with the first bump. It all starts with the first bump, doesn't it? In this case, we're talking about the one between our first Bridgerton couple, Daphne and Simon. Theirs wasn't love at first sight, but it was just a push in a crowded ballroom. But guys, that fleeting look they gave each other was all we needed to know how burning their chemistry would be. It was a classic scene, to be fair. Simon was rude, and Daph thought he was an arrogant prick, but at least it all worked out in the end, right? Oh, and speaking of first meetings, how epic was Anthony and Kate's? Honestly, that was probably one of the most badass entries for a romance heroine, and we're all for Kate riding her horse into oblivion, or, you know, right into Anthony's path. Then on 9, a bee in her bonnet. We never thought being stung by a bee could be sexy, but Bridgerton did that too. And it was made even more special because there had been no close interaction between Anthony before this. At least Daph and Sam gave us something to talk about with their kisses. Anyway, back to the topic. We'll be joking if we didn't say the bee scene isn't one of Kate and Anthony's defining moments. The argument, the gradual buildup, the sting, and the whole thing afterward. We loved it. And let's also not forget the whole "she was stung by a bee, situation. Was Edwina so naive not to feel the tension in the air? Guess so. On number 8, the bangle disaster. If you thought the bee sting was sexy, let's not talk about the bangle. Guys, Anthony was at the altar. His bride was standing before him, but he kept staring at Kate. Even we would get flustered and look for a distraction. In this case, the poor bangle got caught up in their chemistry. No wonder it broke open. And what about the kiss after? If we had to rank all the hottest kisses between TV show leads, this one would easily make it to the top. After that, on 7, we have this fleeting hand touch. What's with Bridgerton and these fleeting hand brushes? We remember Daphne and Simon's like it was yesterday. There may not have been any actual touch involved, but this subtle action gave us much more than we expected. Sucks that Prince Friedrich had to come and hand block them at the time. And just when we'd thought we wouldn't get any such action in season 2, Kate and Anthony made it happen too, when they were going to talk about Anthony's wedding. Shame, guys. Not that we didn't love it all, but still, get a grip, guys. Next, on number 6, the hidden kiss. We all knew it was coming. All of us did. We were just waiting for it to happen, and God bless Friedrich's rejected proposal that made Daphne run out to get some air. And who followed? Her real Prince Charming, Simon. The sequence of them running around the maze was a classic romance novel move. And then, the inevitable finally happened. They kissed. And it was a kiss that trumped all kisses. The Duke had the feels for her, but the guy still kept denying it and refusing to marry. What could Anthony do but to call him out for a duel? Season 1's Anthony was jacked up with some serious protective vibes. Good thing they were directed towards one Ms. Sharma in season 2. Moving on to number 5, the hunt. Kate was one revolutionary lady. First, she made an entry that rocked Anthony's life. Then she ruined his hunt for him too. But good thing she did, because that gave us a scene we're not likely to forget anytime soon. First, she hitched up her skirt to flash her leg to him, which was hot enough. But then he had to go on and teach her how to hold a gun? Either his ego was too big to let her hunt as she knew, or the bee sting made him want more. And to be fair, we don't blame him. We did too. Fourth on our list, the lake view. If there's anything better than "let me teach you how to hold a gun, Anthony," it's "let me help you out of this boat" one. His jealousy in the scene was practically tangible. Even though Edwina and his mother were discussing their upcoming wedding, he couldn't take his eyes off Kate. Get a grip, dude. But we're glad he didn't, because soon after, when he went to help Kate out of the boat, he fell in the water. And that's a view we'd give anything to watch again. Good thing Netflix doesn't charge us for rewatches, because we'd be paying in gold at this point. Oh, and Kate understood. She got it all right, because she even wanted a glimpse of those abs when he finally pulled himself out of the lake. Yes, Kate, we're right there with you. The third one here is the bane of our existence. Okay, we have one question. Who wrote the dialogue in this scene? Because they deserve a big fat raise. The whole thing was just perfection. After days of building up the tension with touches and flirtatious fights, they finally got into the fight of all fights that barred their feelings toward each other. Anthony being defensive about her moving to India, him saying there was no place in the world she could go to that could end his torment, and then him speaking speaking the words that have been repeated a zillion times on Instagram and TikTok now were all we needed to soothe our anticipatory souls. And Kate, she knew then too, because she didn't try to deny her feelings. All she said was that she didn't ask for this. She may not have, but we did because their interaction here was peak Bridgerton. Oh, and props to Anthony for proving that she was the object of all his desires, because he wouldn't say, "Do you know how many ways a woman can be seduced?" just for the sake of it. They felt the tension and we did too. Honorary mention, the speeches, dances, and looks. Before we move on to our final two scenes, we also have to mention some other special moments. First up, the whole speech Simon gave in front of the Queen about marrying Daphne. We're sure the speech made more than its fair share of ladies swoon because, guys, that dedication, it doesn't come by easily. And are we forgetting that Simon taught Daphne the art of self-love? Other Regency English lads just can't compare to that. Also, what about those subtle looks they kept giving each other? Not only them, but Kate and Anthony too. Every time they looked at each other, an electric current would pass between them, especially during Pall Mall, their various dinners, their cutest dance after the ton jilted the Bridgerton ball, and they were openly flirting with each other when it was clear they were endgame. And now that we've mentioned all the subtleties, let's talk about the major scenes from the show, including all the good times with Daphne and Simon. You're the bane of my existence and may have taken the internet by storm, but we can't forget the OG version. I burn for you, walked so the bane of my existence could run. And let us tell you, it walked the walk pretty well, because soon after the line came all the sex. And let us tell you, it was something. From their first time to all the rest, whether during a picnic, in the rain, on a ladder, or on a staircase, they did it everywhere. If that's not a couple in love, what is? Honestly, Simon was pretty obtuse not to see how amazing their dynamic was, but we'll forgive him because he redeemed himself pretty well. Too bad we're not going to see Reggae Jean back in the show, because we're sure the writers had some more of their scenes in their minds. Finally, when Anthony did it. Okay, hear us out. Daphne and Simon may have been the OG couple in the show, but our hearts will always belong to Kate and Anthony, because why not? They were cute, so unaware of their attraction, giving us lots of build-ups compared to the Duke and Duchess of Hastings. But we didn't mind because when they finally reached the climax, no pun intended, it was hot. We're pretty sure Anthony demonstrated one or two of the ways how a lady could be seduced. We also loved the post-honeymoon glow they had. Can you believe that's the same grumpy guy who didn't have one straight word to say to anyone? Also, can we appreciate them holding hands during it all? Excuse us, but that's some good attention to detail, and we appreciate it 100%. Wonder what type of dynamic the next season's going to bring. That's a wrap for this video. Which of the two couples has been your favorite so far? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.